What's that? You want to finish this video and then watch the next two? Are you mad? You'd have to join the UG $9 tier on Patreon and help keep the channel afloat. Oh, that's a deal. Pop on over then, link below. Just as in the last video, I gotta admit, I think they did such a cracking good job on basically every aspect of these things and using them in combat. Imagine if that suddenly happened to you. The best anti-anime thing of this is that Robin was going to do something about it, but Sanji beat her to it. When was the last time you saw that in an anime? Nami using that big beautiful brain of hers in yet another smart way here during the opening stages of the fight. Luffy-san! Glad Frankie called them both out on this kind of reckless plan of theirs, given that they both are devil fruit users. Actually go right on ahead and help yourself to one more for fully addressing it. Like Frankie was so confused as to why they'd do that. A well-deserved smack from Nami, who also had to join in to help fish them out of the water. Zoro casually continuing his efforts to be the coolest character that has ever existed in all of anime during the ever-evolving system of space and time. I actually thought Oda was going to make him randomly weaker than he used to be, but he didn't fall for that. I'm so happy that that's the case. Zoro just taking out the enemies very early on here when given the chance. Even better that it helps those three, but heck yeah! Giving a win for this actually having been said, I liked that and appreciated it too. Always enjoy when I see Usopp able to be right involved during a battle, such as his setting up of the cannons prior to the battle. Chopper being the cutest character to ever live. How this very reckless move wasn't cartoonized and actually received a brief dose of realism by them asking for medical cover for doing it and him offering up 1 million for them. A great double team defense of the ship, and it's a rare one where we see Luffy and Sanji fighting together. Half the win is Robin still looking so good, and the other half has to be for her super casual nature. Like, I love that about her, just casually observing something here. In a weird way, it was super nice to see him like this, because it again added more realism, I thought. His first proper battle with them, and he nearly drowned. He's ashamed at the moment. Wow, I am genuinely shocked. I thought he was a great swords bone who could also sing. I didn't know he could use that song in battle. How quickly it affected these two as well. Just like Chopper being cute and Robin and Nami being hot, the first time Brook does this, and hear me now, amazing laugh at the start of a video, he's getting an automatic win too. I'm so confused as to who this guy might be. I thought maybe Krieg, but he was never this huge. I'm so clueless on this one. Oh man, is this because he hasn't fully healed up after the last massive fight just yet, or something else? Don't worry, it's not another win just for the laugh. It's also for taking these two out rather elegantly too. Okay, this one really is just for the laugh. It got so intense there at the end. Also though, let's give it up for him. He definitely made up for the start of the battle by taking out so many of them. Yay for Brook! For context, he just saved a very much not fully healed up Zoro. Brook in turn saving him because now he wasn't paying attention, which for clarity he accused Zoro of, and Zoro taking out the dude. It's come full circle. Kinda anyway.
Hentai?
Such a stupidly great joke to add in all of a sudden. I absolutely love it. I think it's time Nami got her win I mentioned earlier. Said it before, but I just adore seeing Nami being so much more capable in battles now compared to the start. It's a great way I found to track her progress in the story. Something else I've mentioned lots in the past is enemies being confused by our crew's abilities, such as this right here. I'm even more confused than I already was. The big dude is now riding an even bigger Mumu. Usopp still being the voice of reason in this crazy world. Yeah, he really is. So who is he? I'm not joking. I haven't a single clue. Take one for half the reveal. You're literally getting a win for me still being stumped, but could he be the Navy guy who was with the woman at his restaurant and he kind of humiliated him? Didn't think he was so tall though. It could be him. It's blonde hair. I think he had blonde hair, but anyway, solid hit. Let's go very quickly. You're literally getting a win for the build-up alone. I mean, my god. That is absolutely the most stupid outcome possible. And at the same time, the best outcome possible. It's so good. This poor guy blighted by a poor drawing of Sanji. Max wins. 2 wins to wrap there. Firstly, his voice acting was on point, and he's logically angry at how stupid that was. But it also made for a heck of a badass Sanji ending too. In a very real way, I feel genuinely bad for the guy too. He was living a normal life. Suddenly there's a huge bounty on his head and everyone is after him. Ooh, nicely animating Sanji through the scene there. Sanji is having absolutely none of this. And I love it so much it hurts. Plus, nice art style change too. God, so oddly weird to say. I love her for it though, I truly do. For context, they're all talking about Sanji here. The reactions totally make the scene too for me. Like Brook here. I'm just saying, Oda's sense of humor is amazing. What an amazing turn of events. I'm amazed. Originally, this whole flashback was gonna get a win for just letting us learn about him from before. That was until he did the classic Japanese gangster thing. So funny. Lee. So good. And as promised, here's your win for the backstory. I really liked the completely different style it was done into normal too, and of course, fully animated no less. He's so stupidly funny. He said, unless you want me to hunt you for the rest of your life, you'll just have to take me out. And then he does this and he freaks out. Hentai? Him still getting this wrong each time is so good. Oh my god, the jokes are just too good, man. Zoro having to physically stop Luffy from jumping into water again. Creating a big fat old JoJo situation here scores them an easy win. The resolution wasn't one I'd have been able to know about in advance, but it's still a solid reveal. The sky! And that, where I come from, is a really solid tactic to attack them with, to be fair to them. What is wrong with Robin, and why do I love her so much? Oh yes, that's an easy max wins, because not only was it a stroke of genius to include in the ship the ability to quickly go backwards if needed, but it looks so good too! I love stuff like this. Get out of here! I feel exactly the same way! Before I even give a win for what is about to go down, easily take one for Usopp clearly not knowing what he's doing, rather than hearing Frankie out and immediately doing it all with no issues. And very much to be expected, of course it's max wins for this as well. I mean, that was bloody brilliant, truly unexpected, and a glorious attack all around. And the jokes keep on rolling in quick and thick. I trimmed that down. There was a couple of seconds gap before he said it, where I was like, oh, he's not saying it. And then he said the thing. What makes it even better is being given an explanation of how it works, and how it's done safely, no less. It's so stupid. As funny as this was, what actually stuck out for me was how anti-anime it is. That at this late stage in the anime, compared to the start I mean, Luffy and crew are wrecking them. And then that, of course, was just amazing. A style change, but hilariously mixed together. Literally what I meant by the one from 2 wins ago. He's so strong, he beat this foe by intimidation alone. It's a very rare Sanji change of clothing due to having gotten wet before. Shut up. Seems fitting to see, I'm presuming anyway, Sanji ending this battle with his own series of attacks. Whilst we weren't shown the reveal right here, I'm guessing he now looks wildly different due to the injuries from Sanji, and that is a great way to end that story, I think. Nice that this actually worked out in the end, that they went here. I like how he has his own little ship he runs it out of as well. Really great story and character development. The animation on him getting burnt looking real good out of nowhere. A win just purely because I'm so happy to witness Brook just enjoying things he couldn't before due to having no shadow. Glad Oda didn't do an all is forgiven immediately. She has some true trauma stemming from her time around him and Arlong and everyone else. This is very natural. How they be making them lips look? That made me happy. For both of them, actually. Really liked the addition of what I strongly presume are cannons here, so they can protect the ship if needs be. Massively unexpected plot twist where I'm sitting. I thought that part of the story was over and done with entirely, but no.
間違えた。デューバルだぜ。こんなハンサムにしてもらっちまって、もう自分に。
Extra win for actually showing us what he looks like now.
俺らでお役に立つことがあれば、何なりと申し付けてほしい。
Truly shocked. I thought he was coming to fight them yet again. I was instead totally wrong. He's offering them help. It's amazing.
慣れてねえならウインクすんな。
Also though, this.
してないしてない。たこ焼きのタレ拭いただけよ。
For context, she indeed finished eating and just wiped her mouth, and he saw that as her blowing a kiss.
ごめん。
もうウインクやめろ。
Him really physically trying to force out a wink. You could basically feel it through the screen. Such a Brooke thing to have a cup and flask adorned like this. So elegant, and then he ends up doing this. Instead of making their ship all clean suddenly, she's seen cleaning, there's dishes in the sink, ingredients on the floor, and everything they ate out of spread everywhere. Literally thought to myself, bet he's asking her for her panties back there. And then I was right.
確かに潜水艇でも限界だった。
And you know me, always enjoyed just seeing the crew going about their lives, rather than everyone being involved in the conversation as we see Zoro head to Naptown. You best believe that after what I just wrote, seeing Chopper checking Luffy's tum equals a win.
当然海賊に通行の許可なんか出るわけねえ。
I really do just love it when thought is given to how the world government would make their own lives easier, such as giving them a way to pass to the new world easier.
怪獣や海洋類に船ごと食べられちゃう人たちもたくさんいるんだから。
Them all ignoring him is one thing, but him saying in the background, I didn't pass you the baton, is hilarious. I continue to love the lore in this so much as we learn of an alternative way to get there.
確か空島の時は上空1万メートルじゃなかったかしら。
Felt as though this was a pretty incredible way to help the viewer understand just how far under the water we're talking about here.
ここがシャボンディ諸島だ。
All the times I've mentioned Oda creating areas and buildings that look unlike anything that's come before it, you best believe these visuals knocked my metaphorical socks off. There's the realism I adore so much, as Robin interrupts their conversation to ask about something really important, that being about the log pose.
その一本一本が島になっていて、それぞれに町や施設がある。
A full-on view that looked so good, I felt I had to show it first and then talk over it.
ああ、すべての島がああやってつながっているんだ。
なるほど。
It's weird, I think it's worth a win that this place had proper infrastructure outside of simple homes having been built. Not happily running and skipping on the spot.
ほんと不思議なシャボン玉。どういう仕組みなのかしら。
Perfectly fitting her personality that she is questioning things about this area and trying to understand them.
ベタベタするわ。
つけんなよ!
And this is something they do as a crew that just fills me with pride and joy. That she'd wipe that on him and he'd complain. I don't even know why, but I adore that.
いいよケイミちゃん。あいつなら心配いらねえから。
How his friends are calm at seeing Luffy falling down to the ground from really quite high up because they know he's rubbery. Speaking of realism, how about him saying that sometimes people get dodgy work done on their ship and it ends up getting crushed trying to get to the new world?
たとえ町でどんなことが起きようとも、世界貴族には立てつかねえと約束しろ。たとえ目の前で人が殺されたとしても。
I had a feeling there was more to this place when Cammy was told she couldn't go on the Ferris wheel, and now he's saying this, so clearly it's under the world government's thumb.
船のメンテは俺の仕事。
もちろん俺も手伝いてえから残った。
Just like when I mentioned the win regarding Robin and Usopp, here is the exact same one for these two. Again, just interacting in really unique ways, mixing their personalities.
いや、俺は誰かが帰ったら交代で買い出しに出る。
Literally another example, plus it was anti-anime. Usopp said, let's all go into town after this, but Sanji says no, as he needs to go shopping. Who even thinks up stuff like this? Oda, that's who.
これを守ってくれるナイトがどこかにいないかしら。
じゃん It's me!
and then learning the reason he's staying behind to watch the ship until he is relieved of duty.
もしもーし、ゾノくん。
たった一人でどこ行くの？
Not running on the spot, but also it's very funny in general too. No idea why Sanji is being so happy-go-lucky talking to him either.
必ず人に聞けよ。
自分を信じるな。
They literally know he's gonna get lost, but are hoping his asking for directions will help him get home.
一番だな。
Yup, knew it. Still didn't stop it from making me laugh. Back-to-back wins. 1, getting to see the homes up close and look even more unique up close. 2 is for the lore drop here. Not only do they live quite uniquely in general, I'm looking at old Bubble Girl over there, but also how people stop here before moving to the new world. Luffy becoming a bubble boy. Chopper being so adorable though. Getting a solid look at another area and its different buildings. That's classic Luffy, that is. He's just been told he can't use them outside of this area, and he's still wanting to buy one, and is now fed up about it. I feel like this guy is voiced by Buggy the Clown. I can hear it, I think. Love his work as a voice actor, but also I feel like this is what people would do in a high traffic and important area too.
ここはホテルがおるみたいね。
ねえ、マリージョアの通行許可を待ってる船乗りたちのためだ。
My god, this is what I mean when I talk about the lore. This is probably the thickest he spread it on the bread that is this arc of One Piece. I love it, it's so tasty. That's just plain old clever.
もしかしてこの島には悪い歴史が残っているのかも。
When wondering why Kami is acting so strange since they landed here, Robin ponders this, and the same thing has been going through my mind. Like maybe her kinda mistreated here, perhaps?
いやー、待ちにまだ道のりは遠いぞ。
Had a nice thought I wanted to share as a win, that I thought it was lovely that after being serious enemies with one another, this is now the worst it gets. A bit of healthy competition. The new location within the city, but also the hand-drawn crowd of people. Also, this moment right afterwards, now starting to show the darker side to this place clearly.
俺はもう新世界は諦めたんだよ。
Partly the win is for the unique clothing they're all wearing as well as everything else, but the other win has to be for this darker side still, making someone as huge as him basically beg to go home. Honestly, with how that was done, speeding up more and more and more until, boom, it was outstanding as a scene. This scene is made way more sad with him having just mentioned prior having a wife and a kid who he has yet to see. Such a seriously amazing way to introduce the newest enemies in the series to us.
買ってくださいまし。
まったくお前はしつけが下手だよ。
Kudos to Oda for dealing in quite the dark material here during this arc, clearly. Talking about dark, goodness me, I can barely see in here now. If you ever needed more proof that most of the Navy are really scummy people, going along with these people of likely importance up above and in the world government at large is evidence.
天竜人を傷つけたら海軍本部の大将が軍を率いてやってくる。
Understanding the lore behind how such weak-looking people, physically speaking, could command such respect, and now it makes way more sense.
800年前に世界政府という一大組織を作り上げた20人の王たち。
The lore is getting so rich and thick and tasty, it's probably not great for my health anymore. All jokes aside, I friggin' love learning about stuff like this.
間違いねえ。麦わらのルフィ。
Quick win just to say, really happy to see this arc really getting into the swing of things now. I'm legit so hyped for it.
じゃあ私らをお女
the battle being set up from the end of the last episode happening real quick. On top of seeing Brook in battle already, I gotta hand it to them. They added beautifully smooth animation for us to enjoy here too. Before our new ally could even reach them to help, we got to see Luffy getting involved with a heavy and likely pissed off attack due to him having dared to attack her. How quickly they won the battle! Amazing lore yet again. As for me, I learned that the Navy isn't in control of this area anymore, and also the homes are abandoned, clearly a long time ago, looking at the state of them. Giving us a nice and handy map of the area, and then going even further and explaining various aspects of it too. Chopper sticking out of the top there. Kawaii! But also, you know this series. I like to highlight those who've sadly passed, and she is one such case. Known for voicing Bulma in Dragon Ball Z, she passed away in 2017, so an extra win in her honour. Nice to see that Luffy now has a friend in arms in the crew who he can do this stuff with. Oh my goodness, easily one of the cutest Chopper moments in the history of the show. I'm so happy for Brook to finally have a moment like this as a skeleton. She's actually telling him! This is a first and it's not a drill! I liked that because it does show firstly how it's not a big deal to him and how he lives his life, but also that, as she says right afterwards, he's no braggart and he's a big deal. By the by, the internal set design is great in this little place. I really like it. He's so painfully adorable. I'd love that an unreasonable amount. That there's 9 other really strong people on the island alongside Luffy and Zoro. It's so good. Learning that there was a bunch of different ways to get from where they started to where they are now, and that's why they never met any of these other people along the way. Colour me insanely shocked that there's someone on the island with a higher bounty than Luffy. I'm so shocked because you'd think with Luffy attacking Eni's lobby, he'd easily be number 1, but no. 2 wins. Firstly, quite the introduction to him as a character with the whole fork in the eye thing. But also it's a very personal win, no doubt, but he voices the really old man from the bookstore in Persona 3 Reload, and I've been spending time with him and his missus lately, so that was cool. Another kawaii! Quickly one here for getting to see so many new characters suddenly being introduced. I'm sure a great many of which will stay in the story for a long time, no doubt. Another likely personal win, but he's Adachi, the detective from Persona 4, my favourite ever Persona game. Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, and of course so many other amazing roles. Another one of my favourites being the bald-headed dude in Jobless Reincarnation. We're now being proper blessed with fight scenes from the other pirates on the island. I tell you, this arc, as a result, hugely rising in my estimations now. Moro from Hunter x Hunter, one of my favourite characters in the anime. For clarity, he's the one with the smoke-type nen and the giant pipe he uses to do it. Also, whilst I'm at it, totally have another one for the reveal of Drake. I gave that guy's scenes a few wins during, I think, the 4th and 5th movies. Again, personal one no doubt, but Daimu from Lost Judgment, the main villain in that one, or one of them anyway. Such a great game, I highly recommend. Yay! Luffy, one of my all-time favourite voice actors, Yalto in Noragami, Levi in Attack on Titan, Araragi from Monogatari, Rampo in Bungo Stray Dogs, and so much more. Such a great addition to the cast. I really enjoyed her description of events too. These are the best of the best who rose to the top during their journey, and they will be a big deal in the world of pirates to come.
多大な被害を与えているから可愛くないでしょ
Ah, nice. Getting a reason right away why Kid's is higher than Luffy's. The bounty, that is.
坊やたちの100倍強いから
Wait, for real? 100 times stronger than all these people. Unless she meant just our crew, but still. For context, she's talking about her husband, the boat-coating dude.
今海軍本部はそれどころじゃないほどに別件にかかりきりで忙しいはず
Wanted to include that as it feels like such a Luffy thing to do whilst serious things are being discussed. This place is way bigger and way nicer than I thought it'd be.
すごく怖かったけどすっごく面白い
Made me quite happy to see her so happy given how she's been feeling about this place since arriving here.
した乗り物が実に眺めが
I knew that was coming, knowing what ride it was, but the result was still even better than I had hoped it'd be. No Wind's video covering this episode would be complete if I just breezed past this bit. This hugely high up and really well done bird's eye view of the spot. If the last one gets one, you best believe this one does too.
すごいすごいこんな風に見えるんだね
This is what I was saying before 5 Winds back about how much it clearly means to her, bless her. Seeing her as a kid and how she initially fell in love with this location from afar, and also how lovely it looks at night too.
にゃー俺も子供の頃の憧れが蘇ってきた
How amazing to have him be such a villain earlier on, and now I'm sat here feeling all warm about him when I see him enjoying seeing her so happy and thinking back to his own childhood. Really nice and not to mention surprising that they did a fully animated montage here.
最終目的地は分かっておりますのでご安心ください
Bruh, this arc is getting so dark, like for real. But how they're doing it is also real good, I think.
おいなんで動く人間なのに楽になり
My god, these people are just the worst, man. Like, genuinely probably more anger-inducing than any other villain I've come across so far. This just made me think that even the worst pirates I've seen so far haven't been that bad across the board.
よし妻にしてやる
彼女は私の婚約者で
Take what I wrote during the win from 2 ago and times it by like 15 at this point. I mean, goodness me, what an utterly horrible bunch. It's an anime and I'm legit a little angry. Never in all my time watching the series have I been so utterly filled with joy to witness someone entering a scene. He's being shot, she's begging anyone to help him, and meanwhile no one dares to move a muscle. She declares he's a murderer, and he gets in her face, ready to hurt her I'm guessing, and suddenly Zoro enters the scene. Let's friggin' go.
なんだよ道でも聞きてえのか
Few wins to input here in a row. Firstly, it's Zoro somehow now being a badass without even trying, like at all. Secondly, we have him going on the offensive as soon as he's attacked, and I absolutely loved how they did it with him moving so fast his gun is still smoking. Thirdly and lastly, I'm shocked that she got in the middle like this, and in a way that I hadn't expected, like not locking weapons with him, but a bit of a dive and hug. I get it. So clever. I'm loving this so much. I'm a little sad I gotta hop over to do Demon Slayer Season 4's first half before I get to see more One Piece.
あの一味はイカれた連中ばかりと聞いてるが、天竜人に切りかかるとは。
I find it so sick that numerous very powerful pirates now know all about our crew and what they've been up to.
はぁ？ほっとけ、そんな見ず知らずの男。呆れたぜ。
Really liked this scene for Zoro, that when all was said and done, he wanted to help this stranger.
シャボン玉の自転車みてえのが飛んでたぞ。
見たあれいいよな。買い込んでこうぜ。
Made me feel a warm inside to know that these three were on the ship just having a nice cup of tea and having a chat about this new island.
トビウオライダーズを呼ぶ。
Great ending, and purely because he's calling in a favour already in order to save the kidnapped Cammy. Chrono, the Swedish Muggle, Marcelus the Roman, Nexus 47, AdmiralNugget, Moody Blues, Kody Tiffany, Timothy Wilcox, Curtis Daniels Jr., Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jessen, Tide Wes, David Freriks, OliveWharf, FuriousMoe, SaltLover, Jokerims, Rimuru, Gamer Ludwig, Onyx Calif, Donald Newburn, Robert Jackson, Sakomi Arorim, Starkip, Kai Wolfspring, Dante's Face, Mihran Ardjian, Kody Niemeier, Snowy, Sarcastic Truth, Hitter the Wicked, Will Sass, Thrasher 340, Owen Halloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwartz, Dante Sol, Drake's Daughter, Rudies, Dragon Boy 1, Iso, Cameron, Mode of Rim, Tiger Lily Warrior, Knuckle Duster, Otter Abel, Christian Terrassa, Matthew Barr, Ruby Rose, Commander Cyrus, Cloud Garden, Luis Minito, Brian Bayot, Mini Masher, Garrett Vermeesh, Ryan DeVeries, Dragon Defender, Natsu Dragneel, A Joker XD, Willy Man, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gogati, Kai158, Mr. Firecall, Wacky Normal, Silence 44, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, Nozomi, Nick Monaco, Marvin, Satakayari, Devikel, Christopher Willis, Laxus, Michael Lewis, Lazy Joe Beard, CD Mad Gamer, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Nuvagown, Guru, Cedric, Kevin102, Sean, Darth Weirdo, Dragonstorm 35, Cumfroy, Kellock, Marquez, Q-Flash, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Your Edvardson, Kepan, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, The Element Taylor Wars, Amadillo, Nick Pell, Orkeeper, The Ever Commander, Jason Davies, Lightly Winter, Matthew Blancett, Oscar I. Lopez, Juffer6263, Storm 970, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nauta, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Dan, Ali 50, Bird Without a Word, Chris Harris, 9028, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creer.